2.3.
Listen.
This is CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by ZipRecruiter.
I'm Cammie McCormick. President Trump took to social media this morning to blast Democrats over the Jeffrey Epstein fallout. Attorney General Pam Bondi are under increasing pressure from both sides to release more details. CBS's Scott McFarland begins our coverage.
The president just called this a Democratic hoax. The concerns and questions about Jeffrey Epstein's death and whether there's some list of famous cohorts that were part of Jeffrey Epstein's crimes against children.
I'm Vicki Barker in London. Epstein victim Danielle Bensky has blasted the Trump administration for its refusal to release everything it has on him. She's suing two of Jeffrey Epstein's closest advisors, arguing they must have enabled his crimes. And her lawyer claims there's a wealth of information collected from Epstein's computers that the government has yet to release.
CBS News has learned President Trump asked a group of House Republicans if he should fire Fed Chair Jerome Powell. The president was asked about it a few minutes ago and said it's unlikely.
I think he does a terrible job. He's costing us a lot of money.
The Senate last night advanced a bill that would take back more than $9 billion in foreign aid and public broadcasting funding. Torian Small is there.
One of the tipping points in this vote was Senator Mike Rounds of South Dakota. He previously said he had some concerns about how this could impact public broadcasting when it comes to tribal radio stations. He said that he was confident that there would be amendments that would see those untouched.
Police in Los Angeles have made an arrest in the murder of an American Idol executive and her husband, the LAPD's Guy Golan.
On surveillance video, homicide investigators discovered that the suspect had managed to scale over one of the fences, gain access to the residence, and he entered and unlocked or unsecured door of the residence.
Secretary of State Marco Rubio says he's very concerned about the Israeli strikes in Syria today. Robert Berger in Jerusalem explains what is happening.
Israel is intervening on behalf of the Druze Arabs. They are an offshoot of Islam in southern Syria, but there's also a very big Druze population here in Israel and in the Israeli part of the Golan Heights. And they've been pressuring the government to intervene on behalf of their brothers in Syria, who, according to the Druze, are being massacred, first by Bedouin forces and then by regime forces who came in.
In Gaza, 20 people were killed today at an aid distribution site, another 41 in Israeli airstrikes, according to health officials in Gaza. On Wall Street, stocks are mixed. This is CBS News.
Are you looking to hire? ZipRecruiter finds the best candidate for your job fast. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Tampa Bay's Tan Talk.
Caregivers find
entertaining and informative radio for the Sunshine State.
Come on in, sit right down. Keep your hands up and keep your chin down. Shut the door. Time to go with.
Straka called like 10 minutes ago, so he's going to call back.
Ladies and gentlemen, Knockoutradio with Randy Harris is about to start. So get ready for the best MMA talk, games, interviews, prizes, and surprises anywhere. For Knockoutradio, I'm the voice, Ray Flores, and now here's Knockoutradio.
Hey-o. Hey, everybody.
What is going on, everybody? Coming to you live from the Tan Talk Radio Network here in the Tampa Bay area. I know we did it a couple of weeks ago. We may open up the phone lines sometime over the next couple hours. Action-packed show. 3 fighters that'll be fighting this weekend at UFC 318, former UFC heavyweight champ, now slap fight super heavyweight champion Tim Sylvia as he defends his belt this weekend. He will be on. We're going to catch up with Mike Stratka, who is back in the saddle. Very excited for him. He did an appearance, a meet and greet with Patty the Batty for last weekend's card. So we're going to talk to Mike Stratka here momentarily. Then we're going to go outside the realm a little. I'm really excited about this. First, we will welcome back Marlon Wayans, who will be performing this weekend back on stage in Orlando. And I haven't spoken to Anson Williams in roughly 25 years, maybe even 30 years. And I have a funny story with him. And he will be on the start of the third hour. So action-packed. It's going to be a lot of fun. Solo in the seats here today, so that'll be interesting as well. Mike called a little while ago, a little early. That's how excited he was in anticipation of his announcements and what he's doing up in the New Jersey area. So I did not. Did you catch last night's All-Star game? I know a lot of people, including my son, called and was so hyped on how it ended and how they took the extra innings. That's right. They didn't go into extra innings, as they then had a home run derby, a swing off. And I got to question the talent that they chose for the three selections on really both. But fortunate for the National League, they went with one of, I know a lot of Philly fans believe, the greatest leadoff hitter of all time. That will be, as far as I'm concerned, as long as I'm alive, will be the late, great Ricky Henderson. But Kyle Schwarber, 3 swings, 3 home runs, 3 ding-dongs, and then gets voted the MVP of the All-Star game. Even though he had no hits in the game, he did hit the 3 homers in the swing-off, but no hits, no action in the field. I don't know who else you would really give it to. 3 home runs by Kyle enabled the National League to win. So we'll probably talk about that over the next couple hours. Derek Lewis did exactly what he claimed the UFC already predicted. Because if you heard, and if you didn't, Derek Lewis says the UFC is scripted and that it's scripted for him to win in the first round by knockout and to win early in the first round. And that's exactly what he did. A lot of people think that the fight was stopped a little early. It's hard to judge that. You know, if anybody's going to be critical in the past, it has been me. But being a referee is probably the most difficult job in MMA. Harder than being the fighter, because he has everything in his hands. Did he stop it too early? Did he let it too go? And the same people that complain that the referee stops it too early will be the same ones to say that he let it go or they let it go too long. So it's very difficult. Everybody messes up. Judges mess up, referees mess up, corners mess up, fighters mess up, but everybody else can get on with it. The referee, it could be life and death. And if that's the case, a little early obviously is a lot better than this much. And we are live on the YouTube channel that much too late. So we are streaming on the Knockout Radio YouTube channel. You'll be able to see, hear phone calls. We are still working on the StreamYard, and hopefully at some point we will get that up and going. Tickets for Canelo Crawford go on sale. I believe it's this Friday. We can talk about that. The Home Run Derby, I'm bouncing all around. I made a list, and I'm trying to get through the list before we go to our first break and our first conversation, which will be with UFC main eventer. Main eventer. He is the main event of the prelim card, but Adam Fugit coming up here momentarily. So trying to get through as much as we can. Not sure many of you caught this, even though more people are watching the WNBA because of one person and one person only. But the Connecticut team had to move, or wanted to move, the game against Indiana to the Boston Garden so that they could sell. It was somewhere between 7,000 and 8,000 more seats, because one person and one person alone is pushing that and getting more eyes on the WNBA. Just I'm trying to run down. We will talk about over the next couple hours the suspension of high school football coach Teddy Bridgewater and the ridiculous thing that he got suspended for, or ridiculous things that he got suspended for. And now that the players are allowed to, what is it called? The NIT, NIG, LMNOP, whatever letters they go by, that now college players can be compensated. When will that filter down to high school players? Could that be right around the corner? And Bridgewater was suspended for helping his team, taking care of his team, providing rides for his team to practice and things that it's just silly that you can get suspended for, that you do get suspended for. And it's something that we would hope more coaches would do. Let's try to take care of your team. No, let him. I remember Galen Hall got suspended back in the day because he picked up one of his athletes and gave him a ride in the rain. He was walking back to his dorm, his apartment, to Burger King. And where do you hear the Burger King story? The $20, I think it's a $20 Burger King sandwich in Japan. But Galen Hall picked up a player in the rain, assisted, got him home or got him wherever he was going, and got suspended. Also, the Tampa Bay Rays will be moved out of St. Petersburg because I guess the new owner doesn't realize the city of St. Petersburg is in Tampa Bay. And he says that they will stay in Tampa Bay, but over in Tampa. So I was pretty adamant that they would stay in St. Pete under the present ownership. But now that it is being moved or being sold, we will find out how that plays out. A couple other things that we'll run down real quick. The Ben Askren story. I've got some issues there. We'll push everything back a couple minutes. On the phone with us right now after his reappearance and his meet and greet with none other than Patty the Batty, Mike Stratka. Mike, what's up?
What's up, Randy? How you doing, man?
Doing good. I was really excited to be here. But I want to hear more. How did it go? How did it go down? And how cool is Patty?
Patty Pennington is the coolest dude. I almost call him Pennington. He is such a sweetheart, man. Like, I was not expecting. He was so subdued and so calm. Like, you know how he is in his public persona. He's extremely, vivacious, for lack of a better word. And he was very good with the fans. He was very good with me. Like, he was just calm, cool. I could tell you one thing, though, Randy, that surprised me. That boy can eat.
Oh, yeah. Well, we know that. We see him after fights. I thought we were going to say what surprised you is that he picks up dog poop.
Well, yeah, that too. That's just being a good neighbor, though.
True.
So, he's a very large person for 155. I'm thinking I was, at Frankie Edgar's house the other day, and after I saw Patty, I was like, I can't imagine Frankie having to fight Patty, because Frankie's 5'6", and Patty's got to be 5'11", and he must walk around at 205. There's no way he was under 200 pounds.
I think Julia Pena calls that weight bully.
Yeah, it was. I mean, you see the picture of he and I together.
Yeah.
He looks like Brock Lesnar next to me.
And let me just address, what Pena says and what other people say about weight bully, whatever. If they make weight, it's within the rules. And as much as I would like to see weigh-ins being the day of the fight so that this doesn't happen, if they're going to continue doing that, then people like Patty who can do it and will make weight, there's nothing against it.
There's nothing against it. It's funny you talk about this now, because I got a haircut this morning, and my barber was saying the same thing. He goes, "Why don't you guys weigh in on the same day?" And, I think a lot of it has to do with money too. These are prize fighters. They're professionals, and fans want to see exciting fights, and they want to see studs out there. So if that's the name of the game, then that's the name of the game.
No, 100%. I would like to see, and I know we've talked about this in the past, I would like to see bigger penalties when you miss weight. I would like to see bigger penalties when you commit a foul, not, don't do it again. This is a warning. This is a stern warning. This is a double stern warning. 3 more warnings, and I'm going to deduct half a point.
I feel like there shouldn't be a 1 pound allowance.
Well, but there is.
I know. I think there shouldn't be.
Oh, there shouldn't be. Okay.
Especially for somebody like Patty. So all he's got to do is get to 156, and then by fight night he's 185.
Right. I don't know if that would change that much, because once you know that you can get to 156, and that's what they aim for, 155.9. if it was 155. I think, and you called them professionals. I was going to jump in and say most are, but the professionals will be able to adapt if they would ever implement that, which we know obviously is only for title fights.
Right. Well, I just think that there's I don't know. There's such a discrepancy when it comes to cutting weight. I've done it my whole life, as people who have done it their whole lives, as wrestlers. It's just, I'm glad I have daughters because I wouldn't let my son cut weight.
No, for sure. For sure. I know that I asked you to call in sooner. Can we put you back on the time we were going to talk to you? Because now, coming up, Adam Fugit fights this weekend. Sure. I want to try to stay on time. And I definitely want to catch up. I'm so happy. I'm so excited, as I continue to follow, what you're doing. So we're going to put you back on. I think you're going to call back in about an hour. We'll catch up again, and it'll be great to talk to you again on this program. Your program.
Talk to you soon.
This is your program. You're still the co-host.
I love it.
All right. We'll talk to Mike Straka again here momentarily. We're going to run to a break here, and then when we come back, we'll head down to New Orleans and get the ball rolling with UFC 317, 318. I was just at a UFC. I was just at 3 UFCs. So, all right, we're going to go hit this break as I get a hold of Ed. There we go. And when we come back, headed to New Orleans. Big, exciting card. We've got a main eventer when we return.
Hi, this is Terry Checker, right here talking sports with Randy Harris.
Got bills and looking for work, but nobody is hiring? Staff Zone is, as the leading provider of commercial construction, industrial, and special event staffing throughout the Southeast, Texas, Las Vegas, Salt Lake City, Kansas City, and many other locations. Staff Zone has plenty of work for you, and they need you now. Don't wait. Go to www.staffzone.com and find a branch closest to you. Work today, get paid today. That's the Staff Zone way.
Say goodbye to outdated equipment and welcome the latest smart technology into your home. With Cool Breeze AC, you can effortlessly control the temperature and create the perfect environment from anywhere at any time. Call Cool Breeze today at 727-954-3605.
You're hungry. Where do you go to eat? Berg Sports Bar and Grill. You want to have a drink? Where do you go? Berg Sports Bar and Grill. Having a get-together with the guys from the softball team? Where do you do it? That's right, Berg Sports Bar and Grill. Located at 1320 Central Avenue, St. Petersburg, right across from Tropicana Field. Berg's is the best place to take the whole family for food and fun. Going to a Rays game? Have dinner before the game at Berg's, and after the Rays win, come and celebrate with all your friends at Berg's, right across from the Trop. So come down and see Berg and the whole gang at Berg Sports Bar and Grill. Berg Sports Bar and Grill.
Experience the charming Country Depot gift shop located in the heart of downtown Brooksville, located at 36 North Broad Street. From sports memorabilia to antiques, from handbags to one-of-a-kind art and decor, the Country Depot has it all. Check them out at countrydepot.com, Country Depot on Facebook, or stop by the store at 36 North Broad Street in downtown Brooksville. 8 Man Strong is not simply about the biggest or strongest. It's about those who have survived true lows, suffered, faced demons real or in their heads, and are fighting to come back against it all. If you live with a passion for greatness and strength and resilience towards all obstacles that may attempt to derail you, if you are bold and aggressive in the pursuit of the things you want in life, if you are meant to overcome everything that stands in your path of reaching your goals, then you are 8 Man Strong.
Hey, this is Cecil Fielder from Detroit, and you're talking sports with Randy Harris.
All right, we're back coming to you live from the Tan Talk Radio Network studios. Cecil Fielder gave me that liner at the All-Star Game years ago. We'll continue talking about last night's All-Star Game and the 3 Schwarbombs enabling the National League to win last night's World Series. But right now, we'll jump down to New Orleans as we get ready for another action-packed UFC event. And let's welcome the main eventer of the early prelim card, Adam Fugit. Adam, how are you?
Doing well. Thank you for having me on. And shout out to Cal Raleigh for the home run derby win.
How about that? 3 swings. Yeah. Now, everybody's saying he had 3 pitches. He didn't. It was 4 pitches. He took 1 pitch, but 3 bombs and 3 swings is pretty impressive.
That is, and the more I look into Cal, knowing that he's a switch hitter as well, and he's hitting all these bombs, that's impressive.
Are you a baseball fan, or what are you a fan of other sports?
Baseball was my first love coming up as a kid in sports. Back in the Griffey days when he was in Seattle, he wasn't there very long when I got into baseball, but that was my first love for sure. And then basically it transitioned into here recently basketball, because Portland up in Oregon is the only sports team, professional sports team we got. So I had to support Damian Lillard and the Trailblazers before he left.
So the switch from baseball, I'm going to assume that you switched from baseball, to basketball, and then to become a fighter because you thought those bench clearing brawls were so boring.
Well, let's say as a kid, I had a little too much physicality for any other sports, and I ended up finding wrestling, and that was it for me. I knew exactly where I needed to be and what I wanted to do.
I'll tell you a silly off the wall story. So I was the bat boy for the St. Louis Cardinals back in the day. And in spring training, it was A-League. I did the St. Louis Cardinals big club, and then I did A-League during the season. We had a bench clearing brawl with the Tampa Reds. And as a bat boy, I ended up somehow, I was beating up on the Reds bat boy.
Oh, you just jumped in there. Hey.
You got to do, right? You got to have your team's back. And even though I was just a kid, and then the manager, Hal Lanier, who then went on to manage in the big leagues, I remember grabbing him. He grabbed me by the back of the neck and like threw me into the dugout. So basically that was my last time of being in a bench clearing brawl.
Well, I mean, you got to support the team when the things go down. You got to be in there.
Absolutely. Talk to me about fight week. I always like to ask that out of the blocks. Is it something that you try to stay mellow? You try not to think about obviously the job at hand. I call it Christmas on Saturday, or do you dwell on it? Is it all you're thinking about?
Oh, I mean, that's a great question. I try to stay as calm and collected as possible, and just know that I'm going to have those moments where I'm going to have intrusive thoughts and those rope grabbing thoughts, and all I can really do is reset back to that present moment of, what's the task at hand today. And right now we're in the get the weight down so we can make our weight cut on Friday and make weigh-ins, and that's all the process that we have for going for us right now. So, the fight is on Saturday, and all the things that are going to happen on Saturday or that's where they're going to happen, not to mumble or ramble.
No, for sure. And we talk about that a lot of times. There's no matter what, whether it's the fight on Saturday, whether it's, you're a juror at a jury, or it's going to happen. So it really makes no sense to use energy to dwell on something that no matter what you do or we do, it's still going to happen on whatever day it's scheduled to do.
100%. And if you get too caught up in thinking about the future or even the past, past results or whatever, that's just going to add to your stress. It's going to, basically overproduce your cortisol. Your cortisol levels are going to climb, and then it's going to make your weight cut even tougher. And next thing you'll be in that moment and be regretting, the weight not coming off as fast. So it's just best to relax and find, I got my Nintendo Switch with me. I got some books. I got a puzzle.
So you got to stay busy.
Whatever you can do to stay busy.
Let me ask you this. Do you find yourself like looking at social media, not responding, but, whether it's, I happen to check, and normally I don't like to look at anything. I like these conversations to just kind of flow. I don't want to know anything, but I like to get like one or two things and then run with it. And I happen to look at odds. Do you look at odds? Does it bother you? Does it motivate you? Or do you not even worry about what's happening out in social media world?
It's been a long time coming, and I can't say that the intrusive thought doesn't roll into my mind here or there, but this has been my career. To be honest, it's always been the often overlooked, the underdog story, or the guy that they don't think much of, the one they brought in to lose. So, that's been the story of my career, and I just got to continue to go in there and do what I do, and have prove everybody wrong and prove myself correct. What I believe in myself is I always like to say nobody can tell me about myself better than myself, you know?
Sure.
So I try to stay away from looking at that stuff because all it does is create those intrusive thoughts, but I know what they're saying, you know? It's not a surprise to me.
And I'm the type of person, and I'm going to assume you are as well, as much as I don't like, I do like. I want people to think that of me. I want them to not expect me to build what I've built. And I'm sure you don't know this. I've covered the UFC longer than anyone in the world. I started at UFC 1, when people used to always make fun of MMA and the UFC, and built up a pretty big 70 million views, et cetera, et cetera. So you don't want to see it, but you kind of use it as a little, what?
What is shoot? Adam Sandler made Waterboy, Bobby Boucher, use it as tackling fuel,
Exactly. What's not fight week, but what is a normal relaxing day for you at home?
Oh shoot, I'm so much of a homebody. It's kind of disgusting. I wake up and usually go in Arizona this time of year. It's too hot, but usually wake up and get to work on the breakfast, and then breakfast I'm gonna have a little coffee and read a little bit. Try to stay off the social media until midday or so, and even then I'm not out that long. And then if we're training, then I have training at 10 and lunch after that. And if it's a weekend, we're trying to figure out what we can get out of the house and go do, be it some cold plunge and sauna work, or we got some paddle boards now and take it out to Lake Pleasant. We just try to find an activity for the day. And then I always like to have something planned, especially on an off day, like a meal to make. So I've been trying to get into cooking more, understanding how to cook for myself for my diet. And then, sometimes I just want to cook a cheat meal and grill up a nice burger and some fries,
Sure. What came to the decision of the move? Because you recently moved to Arizona, correct?
Correct. When you kind of reach the was the best in my gym, but I didn't really have anybody that was challenging me as far as partners, and I found myself with my coaching hat on far more than I had my student cap on. So I just kind of felt like it was time that if I was either going to get stagnant where I was at, or I would need to go and try to extend myself and continue to be, learning and getting better. And I think that's a huge part of our sport. If you're not continuing to get better and learning, then you're going to be falling behind for sure.
No, absolutely. What's the craziest, strangest, funniest thing that ever happened to you or involving you in the middle of a fight?
Good question. I hadn't really thought about that. No. The strangest, craziest thing that happened to me.
And maybe nothing. Sometimes we hear some pretty crazy stories.
Yeah, I can't really say.
Okay.
The strangest thing that's ever happened, not in a fight, but it was in the practice room in high school. I was wrestling off for varsity position, and we got into this just scramble of a situation, and I ended up coming down on the elbow and getting a couple teeth rearranged.
Oh, all right. That's not funny, but that's
it's definitely not funny. I guess what was funny after the fact was going down the stairwell and just have my teeth messed up, and the most awkward moment of the whole thing was in the stairwell having to sneeze, and all the cheerleaders were there.
Oh.
So there you go.
All right. It's a crazy story. We'll call it crazy, not funny. In closing, let's talk about Saturday and what can the fans, your team, what can everybody expect to see when you get back in the octagon?
Well, it's a cliche, but I'm going to see the best version of myself. I'm going to go in there and, try to be the melting pot of MMA that I am. I like to think that that's where my skills best lie, is being an MMA fighter, not, in any one aspect of fighting. So, got to get in there and basically dissect and figure out what the best tools for the situation are.
Awesome. Well, we're looking forward to it. Adam, thank you very much for your time. I know we have your address. We're going to send you a care package from 8 Man Strong for coming on and talking to us, and enjoy the week. And like I said, I call it Christmas. Enjoy Christmas on Saturday when you do what you do.
It's totally correct. Thank you for having me on and taking the time, and you have a great rest of your day.
You as well. That is awesome. As we continue getting ready for this weekend's UFC, we're going to hit a quick break. When we come back, we are going to have on the phone with us former UFC heavyweight champ and now slap fight super heavyweight champion, Tim Sylvia. And I got something to address with him, and I know he's had to answer this before, and we'll do it when we return.
This is Kurt Gowdy, and you're talking sports with Randy Harris.
8 Man Strong is not simply about the biggest or strongest. It's about those who have survived true lows, suffered, faced demons real or in their heads, and are fighting to come back against it all. If you live with a passion for greatness and strength and resilience towards all obstacles that may attempt to derail you, if you're bold and aggressive in the pursuit of the things you want in life, if you are meant to overcome everything that stands in your path of reaching your goals, then you are 8 Man Strong.
Check out fantasypets.com, where fantasy meets cutting-edge technology. We create breathtaking 3D printed fantasy creatures that captivate hearts and minds. From the T-Rex to the dragons and the shark to the crocodile, every fantasy pet is a testament to our dedication and precision and quality. You can request custom designs and bulk pricing as well. Go to fantasypets.com. That's fantasypets.com.
The once-a-year event is back. Tampa Bay Comic Convention is coming your way August 1st through the 3rd. Join the ultimate 3-day pop culture experience where you can meet your favorite celebrities, explore an immersive vendor hall, hear special guests share stories, and connect with a community that shares your passion. Tampa Bay Comic Convention is the perfect place to bring your family, make new friends, and share unforgettable moments with fellow fans. Save on tickets now with promo code MAGIC at TampaBayComicConvention.com.
Got bills and looking for work, but nobody is hiring? Staff Zone is, as the leading provider of commercial construction, industrial, and special event staffing throughout the Southeast, Texas, Las Vegas, Salt Lake City, Kansas City, and many other locations. Staff Zone has plenty of work for you, and they need you now. Don't wait. Go to www.staffzone.com and find a branch closest to you. Work today, get paid today. That's the Staff Zone way.
Hi, everybody. Ernie Harwell of the Detroit Tigers, and I want to recommend Talking Sports with Randy Harris, one of the great shows of all time.
All right, we are back coming to you live from the Tan Talk Radio Network. There was just another Schwarbaum hit. Well, there wasn't, but after last night, 4 pitches, 3 home runs. 4 pitches, 3 swings, 3 home runs. Adam misunderstood, and I didn't want to obviously correct him. He was talking about the home run derby with the switch hitter, first time a switch hitting catcher, blah, 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 blah. And how cool was it when he did switch sides? And what a difficult decision that must have been, because, you know, he was finally getting in the groove, and then he goes and switches sides. But obviously it worked out well. He ended up winning. And how cool, dad pitching, son hitting, and younger brother catching. And he kind of said to his brother when they went and talked afterwards, I guess big brother's buying little brother a new car for calling such good pitches. But let's speak to someone defending his title this weekend, my good friend of a very, very long time, Tim Sylvia. Tim, how are you?
Good, buddy. How are you?
Rocking and rolling. Things are good here. And obviously things are good with you. I believe the unveiling of your shirt is like any minute away, any day away.
I think my shirt should be unveiled now, but Sean, my shirt unveiled yet for my new shirt for the Slap Fight? Slap Fight shirt is online. It's online, available now.
Okay, Slap Fight shirt is, and we're gonna put something out during the show of anybody who purchases that shirt and posts it where I can see it. We're gonna put them in a drawing for something cool. I might even have some old Tim Sylvia back in the day autographs.
Well, and also they just go to, they can go to getslap.com and get themselves a shirt.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
We also, I think we overnighted you some stuff.
Correct.
And I don't think it's got there today, did it?
No, the overnight system didn't work. But you know what the beauty of the overnight system not working?
Well, we get our money back.
You
and
get
you
your
it for
money
free.
back, right? Exactly. So the shirt's shipped. We're still going to do some giveaways. We're going to start wearing them as well. But then you get your money back. So it's a win-win.
Well, but if you don't get them today, like we wanted.
Right. Exactly. So talk about the difference in preparing, for your title defense back in the day to your title defense that's coming up this weekend.
Well, obviously, it's not a fight. It's not a fight camp.
Exactly.
My dieting is not on point. I do absolutely no cardio whatsoever. But I swear. You did, and I have a couple morons in the background.
Yeah, I know.
That decided to say something. But anyhow, yeah, I didn't even know where I was at because they were so rudely interrupting me.
You're talking about that there really is no fight camp, and you don't have to watch.
No,
your diet
I just lift weights heavy. That's all I do.
When was the last time somebody laughed at you, like we got laughed at the Dodger game for how much food we were eating?
I don't eat like that anymore.
I don't either.
I eat like a lot throughout the day, but not like big sittings like that. But, that was after a fight. After fight camps, man, I would just be miserable every day because I'd eat so much of everything.
I know that you've addressed this before, and I know we've never talked about it on the air, but I responded to something, and I don't know if you saw it. So somebody put a post up of UFC legend Derek Lewis.
Jeez.
And I'm not ripping Derek Lewis. He didn't do it, but this is what people are calling him, a UFC legend. And I know that you and Sean and everybody, the group of people you said that are in the background, know where I stand. Legend is the most overused word I've ever heard, and blah, blah, blah,
Absolutely.
blah, blah. So I asked him, I said, well, what makes him a legend? And well, he has the most knockouts and blah, blah, blah. So I said, all right, I have a question for you. What is more impressive and what makes you more a legend? The most knockouts in any division or a 2-time UFC champion?
5-time.
Well, I said 2-time. I'm just saying, I just said 2-time. I didn't say you yet.
Gotcha.
And they said 2-time. I said, okay. I said, is Derek Lewis a legend? They said, yes. I said, is Tim Sylvia a legend? They said, no. And it pissed me off. And why is that? Why do you still not get the respect that you deserve and that you earned back in the day?
I mean, Dana White's kind of blackballed me, so I'm guessing that's why.
But so many people, and I like Dana, and Dana's take pretty good care of
me.
And blah,
I
blah,
don't.
Blah.
I mean, I don't hold any remorse.
I know.
It is what it is.
No, I'm just saying. So, but there's a lot of people that dislike Dana. So you would imagine the people that dislike Dana would like anything that Dana dislikes. You know what I'm saying? So there should be
maybe they don't know. Maybe they don't know how much he hates me. I don't know. Let's get that out there. He hates me.
I will. All right, that's what I'll work on. But what do you remember most? Of those days.
Most.
Yeah. What's like the first? Like I always say this. The first thing that comes to my mind is when you won the title and everybody disappeared and you're carrying your own gear. Out. It's like, where did everybody go?
Well, that was a good thing with the military scam. Nobody was on a higher pedestal there. You're just another guy, and cool, you won a world title. Well, so what? 5 of us others have as well. What's your point?
Which is good and bad, I guess. I
Correct.
Good and bad.
It is. Yeah. It's easy to stay humble there.
No, for sure. I remember, and I don't know if you were there when Marcus Jones came up. Were you still there?
I have no idea who that is.
Okay, Marcus Jones fought at UFC 100. He was on The Ultimate Fighter. And just before he went on to The Ultimate Fighter, he was a very good friend of mine, Tampa Bay Buccaneer, first-round draft pick, blah, 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 blah. And I kept saying, you need to go to a different camp. I know that you're training with Rob Kahn, Hoist Gracie's first American black belt here locally. I said, you got to spread the wings a little. You're not leaving, Rob. You're just spreading. And he didn't want to go. He thought it was disrespectful. Finally, I talked him into it. He went up to Militich. First day, they put him in the hospital. He was so dehydrated, and they were trying to break him, like everybody normally does. And I got a call that night, and that's the last.
The way you say it is they broke him.
Well, here's where they didn't break him.
First day.
The first day he goes to the hospital, they call, they say, well, this is what happened. The next morning when Pat showed up, Marcus Jones was there waiting for him.
Yeah.
So they didn't break them. They just, did what they do. It's like what you do in the military or whatever. But, the old times back then. But let's skip ahead. I don't want to run out of time. I do want to talk about this weekend. And, what goes into the defense? What have you learned since you won the title when I stood, 2.3 inches away from you?
I mean, nothing's really changed since I won the title, really. I've lost a little bit more weight and just going in to knock this guy out. Hopefully he's clean this time. Last time I went against him, he was really dirty and clubbed and stepped and lost some turns and stuff like that. So hopefully that doesn't happen this time.
Did you grow the beard out even more so maybe he'll miss like the former fighter?
No, they actually just changed the rules and you're only allowed to have an inch on your face now.
Really?
Yeah. But I hate that look. I hate it when mine's big old bushy. I look like a dirtbag biker. So I actually just trimmed it up like a week ago. I couldn't take it anymore.
Well, the only thing that you could fix from looking like that is the beard. I mean, you can't do anything on your height. You're trying to do stuff on the weight, but so really the only thing to get away from that, I guess, would trim the beard.
Right. And as soon as the match is over, the next day I'll have it all trimmed up and looking real nice and neat again.
There you go. Update me on your son.
On my son?
Yeah.
He's playing football again, so I'm excited about that. He got a big shout out today for busting his ass at the practice. Today was skill training and then weightlifting and stuff. So he's doing that twice a week, and excited to get him back on the football field again.
How fast time flies. How old is he now?
14.
God. I remember when he was born, and seems like yesterday. I remember, back in the day, Ryan Bennett and Wes Sims and you and me and, 2 tables. It seems like yesterday when it was, 25 years ago?
Yeah. Crazy.
It probably even more. Talk about the shirt again. How much involvement, were you involved in the colors? Was that all Sean?
Yeah, I'm always I like black t-shirts. They're slimming. And he just drew a little cartoon character, and I liked it. I thought it was cool. Me slapping a grizzly bear. Has me holding a belt, and the cartoon character looks a lot like me. And a lot of people into the old cartoon stuff. So we launched this one and see how it does. At GetSlep.com. Hopefully it sells good and people enjoy it, and we can make some money off it.
Is it important to have the caricature, extremely large so it'll make you more svelte?
Nah, I'm down to 3X now. So
are you really?
Yeah.
Well, that's good. Congrats. I'm happy about that.
Yeah.
Can we talk about where the event is, or is that top secret?
San Antonio, Texas.
Well, I mean more than just that. I mean, can we talk?
They didn't know. They said where it is. There's some famous basketball player's house. I don't know who he is, but all I do know, I think he's married to Eva Longoria.
Okay. All right.
She's hot. So
yeah. Well, that's nothing to do with the event, but talk about what it's going to be like to have this event in somebody's house. I
don't care. I'm not happy about it being there, to be honest with you.
Well,
I wish it was back in Branson, Missouri. I mean, it's more of a pain in the ass. You got to fly and all that bull crap, and it's limited to people who I can have come and watch, and like a bunch of streamers are making it so you can't wear like your shirts because they have sponsors. I'm like, I'm not making anybody have your sponsors. I'll do what I want. So apparently they don't know how this works, but the champ does what he wants to do.
Let me just jump in for a second. Yes, that's correct. This champ does what he wants to do, but I'm pretty sure if you were going to this event as the challenger or not even for a title, you would still do what you want to do.
Maybe me?
Yeah, you. I'm saying you.
Yeah, I'll do what I want. Yeah, absolutely.
Right. That's what I'm saying. I do like, where it was, in Missouri, underground, very few people.
Yeah, well, they have a new studio. They're even bigger that accommodates more people and better lighting and better sound and everything. And I was really looking forward to doing it there. Like I said, I'm not happy about the change of location.
Well, in a roundabout way, that's good. A mad Tim Sylvia is.
Yeah, I'm very irritated.
That's so unlike you. Do me a favor before we end this, and obviously we're going to talk on a regular basis as we do off the air. Talk about the other products that got slept. It's not just you. There's some other fighters.
No, yeah, we just launched a new Ben Rothwell shirt. So he's a world champion now in BKFC. Jessica Borger, she's a world champion in BKFC. And we have some, shirts that are like
Chael Sonnen just got a couple shirts. F around and find out. And Fighting Sells Everything. He's really happy about them. Quentin Jackson got those. I was on his podcast last week. He loves them. Brentley Gilbert's been wearing Fighting Sells Everything. So, that's just a shirt that I did 20 years ago, and it's just been around forever. People love it. And we just came out with 4 new ones, too, that we're really happy and excited about. Hopefully people grab those up and they're excited about them as well.
Awesome.
One of them is bright pink, and it says, "My love language is violence."
I need that shirt.
I like it.
A, I like the saying, but B, I wear pink. I support.
Right, I do too.
Breast cancer. I've lost people to breast cancer, and I like pink, and I'm wearing it on my wrist as we speak. Tim, as always, thank you for your time. I know we have your address. We're going to send you and Sean, a package for.
You don't need to send Sean anything. You don't deserve anything.
Oh, then I'll just send both to you.
I'll just use it all. Thanks.
Well, just sew 2 of Sean's shirts together, and then you'll have one.
I get you.
Have a lot of fun this week. Everybody will be tuning in, and I'll talk to you again real soon.
Thanks.
Take care. That is Tim Sylvia, getslept.com. Saying is taking off. The product is taking off. So is Tim Sylvia. All right, let's go hit a break. Coming to you live from the Tan Talk Radio Network. This is Knockout Radio.
Hey, this is Raleigh Fingers, and you're talking sports with Randy Harris.
Got bills and looking for work, but nobody is hiring? Staff Zone is, as the leading provider of commercial construction, industrial, and special event staffing throughout the Southeast, Texas, Las Vegas, Salt Lake City, Kansas City, and many other locations. Staff Zone has plenty of work for you, and they need you now. Don't wait. Go to www.staffzone.com and find a branch closest to you. Work today, get paid today. That's the Staff Zone way.
You're hungry. Where do you go to eat? Berg Sports Bar and Grill. You want to have a drink? Where do you go? Berg Sports Bar and Grill. Having a get-together with the guys from the softball team? Where do you do it? That's right, Berg Sports Bar and Grill. Located at 1320 Central Avenue, St. Petersburg, right across from Tropicana Field. Berg's is the best place to take the whole family for food and fun. Going to a Rays game? Have dinner before the game at Berg's, and after the Rays win, come and celebrate with all your friends at Berg's, right across from the Trop. So come down and see Berg and the whole gang at Berg Sports Bar and Grill. Berg Sports Bar and Grill.
8 Man Strong is not simply about the biggest or strongest. It's about those who have survived true lows, suffered, faced demons real or in their heads, and are fighting to come back against it all. If you live with a passion for greatness and strength and resilience towards all obstacles that may attempt to derail you, if you're bold and aggressive in the pursuit of the things you want in life, if you are meant to overcome everything that stands in your path of reaching your goals, then you are 8 Man Strong.
Hi, this is Ozzie Smith, and you're talking sports with Randy Harris.
All right, we are back, hanging out here in the Tan Talk Radio Network studios. First hour almost gone. Tim Sylvia defends his super heavyweight slap title. Check it out. This is, I believe, the guy he is slapping knocked him down, early in his slap career. So he's now defending the title. Let's see how that plays out. Tune in online, get all the information from Slap Fighting Championship. And there's also Power Slap in New Orleans on Friday. I was planning on going, credentialed to go, but some things have been coming up. That's why we had to cancel the show last week. And then I have to go take care of some things this weekend. So I'm going to miss it. I'm going to try to get to Chicago for Dreykus' title defense. So hopefully we can take care of that. Let's talk about, just for a minute or two, the announcement that the UFC, and there is no doubt in my mind this will happen, the UFC will have a card July 4th on the lawns of the White House. Now, Dana's already started talking about it, be limited, probably no ticket sales, but, invited guests, this, that, the other. But how incredible will that be? And Dana was on with Pat McAfee yesterday and talked about that. Donald Trump said that this is Americans' house. He wants to open it back up. You used to be able to go in, you used to be able to get tours. All you had to do is sign up for it. I was fortunate enough to get a tour there once. And then a lot of things changed. COVID changed, presidents changed, and now this president wants to bring that back. And there is absolutely no doubt in my mind whatsoever that this event will happen in the White House, on the White House grounds next year. And I'm really looking forward to it. Hoping that I'm credentialed. And if not, I've already said this privately. I'm going to say it publicly, that I will go up to the man in charge himself, either one, Donald Trump or Dana White, because I don't think I deserve a whole lot, but I think I do deserve to be there. So we will see how that plays out, and I'm looking forward to it. And, time will tell. All right, so briefly talked about the All-Star game last night, but let's briefly talk about, because I really don't care if the Rays get sold. Sell them, don't sell them, but it appears it has been sold. I don't know if you have a take on that at all, Ed, but 1.7, 1.8 billion. I don't know how much does Stu own? Do you know what percentage Stu owns?
He's the majority owner, so.
I just don't know if it's 70 or it could be.
I don't know the exact numbers.
It's still going to be a lot of money that goes to him.
Sure, and he's going to make more money than what he bought it for.
Oh, absolutely.
So he's going to bail out, which is probably best for him, and definitely best for the area, because it's Hugh Culverhouse leaving all over again. And if I were buying the team, I would make sweeping change. Let me tell you. Let me rephrase it. If I bought the team, the first thing I would do is I would find a way to keep the general manager, Eric Neander, and all of the scouting department, because those are the ones that are feeding the athletes, the athletes we're getting. I would keep them. And then from there on, I'd probably make sweeping changes after that.
Are you for it now appears they will be moving to Tampa?
I'm for, listen, I'm for wherever it works best. I like St. Pete. It as close as we are, it is a little bit of a hassle, and the parking is kind of a ripoff. I mean, $30 to park if you want anywhere close. I tell you what, when the Trop opens, the people are going to love the Trop, come April, because, only 10,000 fit in Steinbrenner Field.
Right.
And by the way, last night they came out and said, I guess that Manfred, the Major League commissioner, came out and said that if the Rays do make the playoffs, they're going to play in Steinbrenner Field.
Yeah, well, I don't know where else they would move them, and it wouldn't be right to move them.
I would move them to Miami.
Just for the money. Because that's all it would be, is money.
I think the fans would travel. I've asked a few that don't have season tickets right now, but will longtime season ticket holders, that they did not renew them for Steinbrenner Field because they were way too expensive than what they paid, and plus the fact that it was outdoors and it was going to rain, blah 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 blah. And I asked them, I said, if the Rays make the playoffs, will you go to a playoff game if it were in Miami? And they said absolutely.
Would they go to a playoff game if it's at Steinbrenner?
Well, yeah, if you could get in.
Well, you can get in. I mean, you can buy the ticket. It will be expensive.
$10,000. That's it.
Right.
And it's probably going to be less than that because media, there's going to be a lot more media there. So they could find a way to put them in there. So there's going to be a lot of standing room only tickets sold. So no, I would move it to Miami.
Have you been to Steinbrenner?
It was a long time ago. I've seen it on TV. It's a junior version of a regular field. I mean, it holds what it holds.
No, for sure. I mean, I went to a game. I didn't go because the Rays were playing. I went because the Rays were playing the Phillies. Sat, in a great seat in the outfield, but it was hot. It was not even full. And I would say it was 70% Phillies fans.
Yeah, well, people are turned off by Steinbrenner. They are, believe it or not. It's like people that are here that say, I'm not going to go to Steinbrenner Field because it is outdoors. And it's going to rain, and it's going to be hot. So,
but my problem with that, not on you, but when people make those comments, they don't have a problem going to the rain and it's going to rain and there's a football game.
Well, there's a big difference between the Bucks right now and the Rays. and the fact that there are only 8 home games that you can choose from in a Bucks game.
No, that part
opposed
is
to
true. Sure.
What is there, 40?
80
home games
yeah.
for the Rays. So,
well, and not to correct you because you're bigger and you can still kick my ass. You said that they're not. I mean, the Rays were in first place. Now they're not right now, but they were.
No, they're falling fast again.
Well,
they're in their usual mid-year slump, and I have a problem when one player goes into a slump. That's one thing, but when the entire team goes into a slump, that's more than just bats just not hitting. There's something going on there. Could be the ownership. And then you mix in the fact that you paid a lot of money for a free agent guy to bring him in. He was hurt, and all cylinders were clicking, and this guy's healthy now. So you're going to sit one of your best players in Taylor Walls and put this guy in? I don't know. Players, you've been around athletes. They feel that. They see that. They hear that. And it comes down to the age-old thing. Not the best players are not on the field. The players making the most money are on the field.
Yeah.
That's when you get team turmoil.
No, for sure. And I know that I'm going to ask you to come on a little bit later and talk about the Bucks. Training camp opens next week. But being a baseball guy, follow it a little bit. I know you do. Your thoughts on last night's All-Star game and how they ended it?
I got bored. After
baseball.
a while.
Yeah, it's
and
baseball.
I switched it off and I looked at it this morning, some highlights, and I see how it ended. And that's great and everything. And it's great for the city is what it is. It's great for the host city to get all those names there. I think the way they're going about it is nice. I know. I think last night was the first time in a long time that the players got to wear their actual uniforms,
which I like.
Yeah, I do too. Maybe the NFL could take a few notes from that, but I mean the Pro Bowl is a joke in the NFL. It's not even a game anymore. It's just flag. It's flag football, isn't it?
Yeah, it's flag.
Yeah, so.
Yeah. A lot of people didn't like, how it ended last night. It's a baseball game. You're already doing the Mickey Mouse runners on second, and you can't this, you can't that. Play it out. You got enough players.
Yeah.
I mean, if you want to even change it where you can put a player back in, that's fine.
There's risk. It's the same old thing.
Sure.
There is risk of injury, especially to pitching staff, that they won't allow the best pitchers out there. And I believe that there is an outcome to this game that the winning league gets to host gets the home field advantage.
Right.
I don't think that's right. It should go to the best team that's playing in the playoffs.
Well, and I'm okay with that. Before they would just alternate. That I have a problem with. Just because you're lucky that year. I think the team with the best record should have it.
Yeah, absolutely.
But I also like that they do make it, mean something. It may not mean something to everybody, but there's 9 teams, that could make the World Series in each, conference.
Yeah.
So, and predominantly, the upper teams, the Yankees, the Dodgers have their players there. So it was nice. Freddie Freeman got to, come home to Atlanta, got a nice ovation.
Yeah, I saw that part.
So that was all cool.
I watched a little bit of the home run derby. That was.
Yeah, and we'll talk about father, son, and son, and going on to win, and the guys taking the record from Johnny Bench, and we'll talk more over the next 2 hours. This is Knockout Radio. We'll be right back.